Tragedy has struck a once happy and loving family. A tale of love and laughter turned into a story of heartbreak and sorrow. Join us as we delve into the events that led to a mother, Lindsay Clancy, being accused of the murder of her own three innocent children. From a seemingly perfect life to a battle with depression, anxiety, and psychosis, we'll explore the journey that took a dramatic turn on that fateful Tuesday afternoon. Was it calculated malice, or was it a result of her unseen internal demons? The prosecution tells one story, but what really happened? Get ready to uncover the truth as we follow the timeline of events leading up to Lindsay's initial arraignment on February 7th, 2023. A story of love, loss, and the devastating effects of mental illness coming up next. On courtship, Lindsay Musgrove met the love of her life, Patrick Clancy. The two were married in 2016. In 2018, they bought a beautiful $500,000 home in the suburban community of Duxbury, Massachusetts, about 35 minutes southeast of Boston. Together, they built a life filled with love, laughter, and joy as they started their family with their arrival of their daughter, Cora. 2 years later, their son Dawson was born, and finally, the arrival of baby Callan made their family complete. However, on a fateful Tuesday afternoon, the Clancy family's life took a dramatic turn. The once seemingly happy and fulfilled mother now lay paralyzed in a hospital bed, surrounded by lawyers who told two narratives about how she had strangled her three precious children. The world watched in shock and horror as the events of that fateful day unraveled. Patrick, Lindsay's devoted husband, noticed a change in her after the birth of her youngest son, Callan. She was battling an invisible enemy, according to Patrick, struggling with postpartum depression, anxiety, and psychosis. Despite her best efforts to get better, Lindsay found herself prescribed with 13 different medications at various times, and towards the end of December 2022, attended a rigorous 5-day program to combat her ailments. Internal demons, her husband Patrick stood by her side, leaving his job to work from home and offer her the support that she needed every day. But even with the love and care of her husband, the pain and darkness proved too much for Lindsay to bear. Her battle with depression had come to a tragic end. The prosecution has painted a picture of calculated malice, of a mother who meticulously plotted the murder of her own innocent three children. With a husband conveniently away, she took advantage of the opportunity to strangle each one with cold, calculated precision, using nothing but an exercise band as her weapon. But in a moment of desperation, she chose to take her own life, plummeting from a second-story window, a final act that has left her broken and paralyzed. The two older children, Cora and Dawson, were deceased. The 8-month-old baby Callan was life-flighted to a children's hospital where he succumbed to his injuries days later. Lindsay has been charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder, 3 counts of strangulation and suffocation of a juvenile, and 3 counts of assault and battery with a dangerous weapon. Timeline of events that led up to that fateful afternoon as told by the prosecutor during Lindsay's initial arraignment on February 7th, 2023. Her next court date is scheduled for February 23rd, 2023. On the morning of 2/24/23, Lindsay Clancy took her 5-year-old daughter, Cora, to the pediatrician for an appointment. There were allegedly no issues with her demeanor or her behavior. And then later on that morning after the appointment, Lindsay went home and she played with Cora and 3-year-old son Dawson in the snow. They built a snowman, and Lindsay sent photos to her husband and her mother. She also texted with both, and seemingly nothing was abnormal. Around 4:02 p.m., Lindsay Clancy searched Kids Miralax, a product used to treat constipation, on her phone. 4:13 p.m., she also searched for Takeout 3V, a restaurant in nearby Plymouth. Immediately after doing so, she used Apple Maps on her phone to determine how long it would take to drive from Duxbury to 3V restaurant. 4:47 p.m., after going to the CVS website, Lindsay called the drugstore and asked if they had Kids Miralax. The manager told her no, but said they had other similar medications. According to the manager, Her voice did not sound slurred or impaired, and it was a perfectly normal conversation. 4:53 p.m., Lindsay texted her husband Patrick, who was working from his home office in the basement, and asked him if he wanted to do takeout from 3V Restaurant. "I didn't cook anything. It's been a long day," she wrote. Prosecutors said this was unusual because they usually get takeout closer to home, but it was a restaurant they had been to in the past. Patrick tested back yes, and Lindsay asked him to check the menu. 5:06 p.m. Patrick texted his wife and asked her what she was going to order. She responded a Mediterranean power bowl, and he told her that he wanted the scallop and pork belly risotto. And this is just a map showing the drive from their home at 47 Summer Street to the 3V restaurant, and it's about an 11-minute drive. 5:10 p.m., Lindsay called the 3V restaurant and placed their order. The hostess said that she noticed nothing out of the ordinary about the call and added that she was able to understand the defendant. 5:15 p.m., Patrick headed out the door to run the errands, and his wife texted him, Pedialyte liquid stool softener, a short time later. About 17 minutes later at 5:32 p.m., surveillance video shows Patrick at the CVS in the children's medicine aisle. 5:33 p.m., phone records show that Patrick called his wife, but she did not answer. 5:34 p.m., just 1 minute later, Lindsay called her husband back, a call that lasted only about 14 seconds, telling him what medication she wanted. Prosecutors said Patrick said that the call was completely normal, but he later mentioned that it seemed like his wife was in the middle of something. 5:37 p.m., Patrick makes his purchase at CVS and leaves. 5:54 p.m., surveillance footage shows Patrick picking up his takeout order at the 3V restaurant and leaving. "6:09 p.m. After arriving home, prosecutors say Patrick did not see or hear his wife or their children, so he called Lindsay's cell phone looking for them. He went to their bedroom and found it locked. When he was able to get inside, he saw blood on the floor, in front of the full-length mirror, and an open window. His wife was on the ground outside the house with wounds on her wrists and her neck. She was conscious, and Patrick asked Lindsay, 'What did you do?' She replied that she had tried to kill herself by jumping out of the window." During the ensuing 911 call, prosecutors say Patrick can be heard asking his wife where the kids are. She replied, "In the basement." When emergency medical technicians arrived, Patrick went to look for his kids and can be heard on the 911 call entering the home and the basement, and then screaming in agony and shock as he found his children, prosecutors say. Cora and Callan were on the floor in the den area of the finished basement, and Dawson was alone on the floor of his father's home office. Each child still had the exercise band used to strangle them tied around their necks when their father found them, prosecutors said. Patrick removed the bands and could be heard begging his children to breathe. He continued to scream uncontrollably. "She killed the kids." Thank you for joining us today as we have shared the tragic story of the Clancy family. Our thoughts and prayers go out to the loved ones who have been impacted by this heartbreaking event. This is a difficult time for everyone involved, and we'll continue to follow this case as it progresses. Please don't forget to hit the like button, comment, and subscribe for more informative and thought-provoking content. Until next time, take care.